We are back with a Match Week 2 recap on the 6 Yard Line podcast with me and my co host Noel. How's it going there, bud?
It would be great if StreamYard would work for us today. I think this is our fifth take, right? I don't know. Every time we hit record, it just freezes, and one of us ends up looking in an awkward position. So it's while it's not freezing, let's just get on to the first game. Before we
Yeah.
go into a little bit on Fulham and Man United, United, as you heard me mention, missed an absolute sitter of a penalty from Bruno Fernandes. He put it into row Z. I think that was the only place it was going. I saw some interesting comments. It's Fulham. Like United scored through Lenny Yoro, who I do think Lenny Yoro looks a really good player, and I thought Mason Mount was very good in this game. I actually didn't watch the game because I was watching the Forest game, but I happened to be in the gym and I was watching the extended highlights of the Fulham United game, and I thought Mason Mount looked fantastic in the way he was playing, the way he's moving. He didn't look like that at all last year. But United score, and then Fulham get back in the second half, and again United screaming for a goalkeeper because like neither of them can do it, and
Uh, uh,
it's interesting to see, right?
the only thing I'll say about this is I actually don't know if I will put the blame on the keeper there, because I think the defense fell asleep because Trossard, no, not Trossard, Rowe, Smith
Smith Rowe,
Rowe,
yeah,
he seemed like nobody was following his run. And because he had an eye on the ball, once he saw that cross, he knew where he needed to be, and he just attacked that spot and lunged one foot at it. And it's like everyone fell asleep and nobody paid attention to him and his movement. And he was too, like, wasn't contested. No one, there was no body on him to try to make it hard for him to get a foot on there. It was too easy. Right. And I know they're having goalkeeping issues. We all know that.
yeah. No,
Right.
I think if
But
if you watch the corners, every time Fulham had a corner, I was obviously I don't know if you remember Mark Crossley, the former Forest goalkeeper, who
no.
has the best Brian Clough stories ever. Um, he used to say that Brian Clough used to call him Jigsaw, and he said, "Boss, why are you calling me Jigsaw?" And he says, "Well, every time the ball comes in the box, you go to pieces." That's the only way to describe Manchester United's current goalkeeper, Jigsaw, because he looks terrified, and the defenders look panicked in front of him. And I know they're after that under 21 international goalkeeper from Belgium, Lemons, I think is his name is. But you know what? If you can hijack the Donnarumma deal, like you're going to send, I think it's going to be
They,
Hoyland's going to go to Napoli. I would try and hijack that deal. But
I,
United
I,
need the goalkeeper.
I think the problem with United is it's not. It's more than the Hoyland deal. They've got to unload all their players in order to afford to bring in Donnarumma. I
Yeah,
think.
well, they're going to unload Garnacho, right? And apparently, Kobe Mainu wants out, so that's an
Yeah.
interesting update. Again, I think
Um.
I'd like Kobe Mainu at Forest if we're being honest. Like, I think he
Well,
could absolutely be
I,
a diamond.
I, I think he's a very young, talented kid. I just think again, right now, a place like Man United just might not be the best place for him. Right, like
No, because you've got to remember he started the Euro final. Like,
that's the
like
and
that.
look where he is now. He can't
Yeah,
get he's
exactly.
struggling to get off the bench. So he really like it for his future. I like sometimes I think the problem is he's you're a young kid, you come through the academy, your goal and your dreams always to play for the first team. And you're will some players seem like, well, it's Man United, like, I'm not willing to give up on my dream, but you know what? Like you're not playing. You're not first choice. You're struggling to even be, come on in the 60th, 70th minute as that first midfielder to maybe to you know, change things up. You know, you're Amorin seems like a guy that once you kind of get in his doghouse, you don't really get back in.
Yeah, and I think the example to your point is Anthony Elanga, right? That was Elanga. Like you could say the same conversation. United, he couldn't get in the team. When he did get in the team, if he didn't score or he didn't make an outstanding performance, then he wouldn't get another shot at getting onto the pitch within 3, 4 weeks. He goes to Forest, plays week in and week out. Today, he looked fantastic. I meant to say that earlier. He looked great for Newcastle today. He looked like a threat, and he was in behind a few times. He gave Kirkes a whole world of pain today at times. But again, it's because he didn't play, and he went to Forest, and he played every week. And you can kind of see it. You see it in Cole Palmer going to Chelsea, plays every week. McAtee's come to Forest because he wants to play every week. There's guys like that, and Kobe Mainu is probably no different. That he needs to play week in and week out. But these guys are getting these, they're still trotting out Casemiro, and I just don't understand when you're trotting out guys like Casemiro overplaying someone that's youth. And I just,
Yeah.
and it's just a little bit of thing. But at the end of the day, Amorin is won 7 games for United in 29. And I think at the end of the day, we talked about Harry Potter, Mr. Graham Potter, earlier. It may be Amorim if they continue to lose and if they can't get a win, because they've spent all this money and they've still not got a win, and they should have beat Fulham.
Agreed. Well, I mean, let's be real. If you really look at Man United's, they should be 2-0 right now.
Yeah. I think if you had Ten Hag, they might have won those games. That's saying something.
I think the problem is for Man United is you can't get rid of Amorin. It would almost be could they? I just don't see them firing him. I think you've kind of you've screwed yourself over, because when the opportunity they had to really right the ship was in the summer, not a year ago, right? Before the FA, as soon as after that FA Cup win, they had the opportunity to make the decision. All right, do we want to keep Amorin? Ten Hag. They waited, and then decided, you know what, we're going to extend his contract. A few months later, they fire him. Right? That was their first mistake. You have to stick it through and give Amorin at least a full season to see if he can do anything.
Yeah, and I think that's I think they've backed themselves into a corner. Let's see what they do, because at the end of the day, they've got to come out and win. He's got to win the next game. Otherwise, I do think there will be instant pressure starting to build on him, certainly for moving forward, because it's as I said to somebody today, new season, new players, same old result.
Yeah, but they can't lose to Burnley. I think that might be his advantage, is that they're playing Burnley on Saturday and they're at home.
If they don't get 3 points, the pressure will be instantly on him.
Old Trafford will not be a fun place to be if they.
I do think they'll win 3-0 at Burnley. I think Mbeumo will score twice and Cunha will score, but that's he's got to get a result, which is week 3, and you've got to get a result. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to smash a like and subscribe and do all the fun stuff down at the bottom there that we always seem to forget to remind everyone to do. So
all right, that's it for me then, Noel.
I'm good, man.
All right, you have a good one. Let's call it a night, and we'll be back next week.